Hello everyone, Key of W here with Artisan of Glimmith, or The Artisan of Glimmith, excuse me. The brand new game from the developers of IOI, IOI meaning Islands of Insight, get on my level. So yeah, if you're following along with my Islands of Insight playlist, congratulations, you're autistic. But also, it's the same developers, but it's a smaller, more focused game with puzzles very similar to the logic puzzles of before. This is a brand new one for me here, Polyomino, depicts the shape of the region. All right. So yeah, it's similar to logic grid stuff. We're filling in these stained glass windows. We choose a color, we highlight a region, and then we need to follow whatever rules are in the puzzle. So this is a new area in the game. This obviously has just got to be the domino. This is the tetromino. Now, I don't know if the shape can be rotated, but it clearly cannot have two in here of two separate shapes. It's got to depict that. So we have to have the tetromino here. So I'm pretty sure this has to be rotated. Because, yeah, let's put the cross there. Now, how am I going to do... No, I don't actually have to rotate any pieces. This is done. Interesting. Huh, I wonder if rotations are allowed. Because, like, this is the S. We have to do it that way. We have to do this. So, yes, rotations must be allowed. Because that's how we do it. Okay. Neat. So, yeah, we're pushing on to new areas. I'm trying to think instead of doing... oh, can I do the same? This is fine? Yes. Instead of trying to like 100% the game from the get-go, I'm just trying to push through to see all the new stuff, do all the puzzles, and then we'll come back later. So that's got to be the O shape. This O shape cannot move to the right, so it must move to the left. So now what's going to go in those spaces? So I think we have this. Oh, no, I don't have to do it that way, because I could go up. Not sure yet, but this does go to the left. This must be here. This, obviously we can put two of the same symbol in. Okay, that's cool. This can't move. Oh, this could move anywhere. And then these guys. Well, this is going to have to move up and down. There's no way around it now. Now, hold on. Just that far. It might go up, might go one further down. Actually, yeah, let's just go further up. So now, that's that. Cool. Anyway, yeah, just trying to like actually get through the game rather than getting bogged down in hard puzzles too early. So we just restored a window over here. We're going to restore this one. You solve puzzles, you restore windows. That's how it works. Regular domino. So are we saying that it's totally cool to have unincorporated? Yes, it's totally cool to have unincorporated segments. The only S shape we can fit is going to be like this, because the other type would go into that L shape. This L shape has a couple possibilities for it. This O shape cannot move down. It's got to be like so. So we have an unincorporated segment. We'll call that orange. I like to have, let's see, this is the only way to do the T shape. It's the only way to do the I shape. I like to have them different colors so I can keep them separated here. So there you go. So the color can tell me what type of shape I'm making. Mingle shape. Neighboring regions must have different shapes. So it means that this must be like so, and then we're going to make a little single like this, I guess. Let's make the single yellow here. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Shape bank and mingle shape. Okay, so this is obviously going to be the tetromino, but it means we can't have tetromino next to it. So we have to have this happening. There and there. We have to do this and that, and we're good. Shape bank and mingle shape. Well, single is going to go there. This can only be the domino. If I put a domino here, it's fine. I can put it moving rightward. This has to be an O shape because we can't have either of the others, so that's that. So in fact, we do have a domino shape here. A single, a domino, a single, and a domino. Yeah. So a couple new rules are going on here. Hold on. These are being counted toward this window. Let's hold off. Let's stay in our lane. You don't need to place whole shapes at once. It can be useful to color an incomplete part of a shape. Yes, that is true. So I know that this is going to come out, but I don't know which direction it's going to go. I know this is going to come out. Don't know the direction. This is going to come out. So now this is complete. This is complete. That's complete. And we have our singles. Cool. Depicts the shape of the region, polyomino. All right. Well, let's get that going. This has to be here. How about these? This has to move this way, so that's done. That's done. This has to move up. That's done. That's not right. Hold on. This piece. Oh, hold on. No, I made the mistake down here. It can also move that way. I thought I had to be either this or that, but it can go there. So let's hold off. Let's take care of the ones we do know. This piece has to go like that, which is going to force these. It's going to force us to go this way, which should give us the rest of the puzzle just fine. There we go. Ooh, there's stuff hidden way down there. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Shape bank. Everything must be one of those two shapes. So the P shape, it's got to be like that, and then it's got to be like that. All right, good puzzle. Am I supposed to be doing all this stuff down here? I guess. If it helps fix the window. Cross shapes. Well, for sure this cross shape, this can't be the center of the cross shape here. But it can be just about anywhere else. This must be the bottom part of the cross shape. Now this one, this can't be the top of it for sure, but or the left side of the cross shape, but it can be the center, the bottom, or the right. Oh, hold on. Everything must be either domino or that. So let's get out of the way of the stuff we know. That's for sure. Now this cross shape, the center can't be here, moving up. The center can't be here, and the center can't be there. So it's either this or that. Either way, this cross shape moves up, which means somebody's got to move there. So there we go. We've got to have dominoes here. This cross shape is looking like this is the only answer. Nah, it can also move this way. If we had a cross shape here, we would be fine. In here, this can't be a domino because it's going to leave an orphan cell. So this has to be a cross, which means this does have to be a domino. And now this has to be a domino. There's nothing else we can do. So this cross is now set. We have dominoes here. There we go. Shape bank 2s and 3s. Domino, triomino. This triomino cannot touch the domino. We can't do that kind of stuff. So that is set. This must now move downward. Now the domino has to move up. Nothing we can do about it. This domino can't move up because it's going to leave a blank space we can't use. This triomino cannot move sideways. It must move up and down. So this is it. We must make this move. No, that's not it. Sorry. We must do dominoes all the rest of the way. Miscounted. Okay. Elbow piece here cannot move right or up, so it must be like so. This elbow piece must move up, but then it can't move left because it's going to block in that T shape. So now our T shapes must do this. Elbow? Yeah, elbow here. Then elbow. There we go. Nice. Almost done with this one. Hitting these polyominoes. Okay. F shape. Well, I can hit an F shape like this. Yeah. Picks the shape. Well, let's look at this 5 by 2 shape here. This one. If it moves all the way to the left, it still has to move one space to the right, and the same this way. So we know it has to be there, and it also has to be here. That is set. This tetromino, therefore, can't move up or left. It must move down. Forces the dominoes here. This must move. All right, so now the red shape can't move any further to the left. Or not all the way to the left, so it has to move at least one more to the right. Now, it doesn't say everything has to be one of these 3 shapes, so I can use other shapes. This tetromino now can't move up or right, which means it can't move left. It must move like so. That's the tetromino here. Domino, domino, domino. So yeah, we can easily have single pieces like so. And that should be the puzzle. The shape of things, restore the polyomino window. So having done that, and only being 10 minutes in, I'm going to now continue to where I was starting to go and do whatever window's over here. Mingle Shape. Shape bank. So this must be an elbow. That is for sure. But if this elbow, that would touch an elbow. We can't touch elbows. So we have to go this way and make the tetromino. Forcing an elbow. Tetromino needs to be here. And it can't go down because we make another tetromino. So it has to move over, and then that's our tetromino elbow shape. All right, let's keep doing easy ones. This is making the game go quick, which is good. I want to get quick through all the new stuff and then come back and touch the harder things. All right, singles. So we know that these can't be singles. So, okay. All right, I see what's going on. It's really tempting me to put elbows in here, but an elbow is going to make things really challenging. Oh, hold on. I can just make a big, fat, honkin' shape like this. Let's see how that works. Because now we have a domino and we have a regular elbow here. That's the answer. Mingle shape, polyomino. This shape is going to touch these spots, no matter what. And we can't have this touching, so it can't move left, so this is also going to touch these spots. They can't touch each other, so this is how we're going to handle these. And we're going to put singles here. Dominoes can't touch each other, so they can't move like this. And then once again, singles in the way. All right. So yeah, we've got a couple areas. So what we had these spots, right? Precision, polyomino, and mingle shape probably going to be put together over here somewhere. All right. Singletons or dominoes? Those are only options. Well, we're going to start with the forced move. It's going to give us this. What do I want to do here? I want to do this. How about you? Ones, singles, and elbows. Not as obvious where to start on this one. How about in here? I can't have 3 singletons. I gotta have an elbow in here. I can't have an elbow in this spot. This has to be a single. Which means elbows have to come out this way. Now the question, oh, hold on. Now we also know these are singles. So this needs to be an elbow. Forces the elbow up, forces singles there. That forces an elbow. I should remember scroll wheel does this rather than have to go click over here every single time. However the elbow goes, that's a single. So now we need... hold on. No, sorry, that's not how it works. This can't be a single because then we can't make elbows. So this has to be elbow. And it has to be this way. That's the only I can think of. I think this is just going to do it. Interesting. Elbow and then a V-shaped tetromino. Well, the elbow's got to go here. There's really not much we can do there. And then they can't touch each other, so that is required. All right, I guess that worked out. Singles or T-pieces. Oh, I think I just kind of see this one in my head. Right? No, unfortunately, no. I can't do it that. I thought it was just a simple one. Because now I can't stick anything. But it's going to be a pattern of some kind. But if I put something here, it's going to force singles like that. Which forces these to all be red. But then we can't do something here. So if this is a red shape, it would have to go here, but we're going to have the same issue here. So maybe the singles are here. Maybe, hold on, no, let's just take that pattern a little bit more. Let's just think of it a little harder. There we go. Nice. Dominoes and elbows. Let's see, where can I do a break in here? Looks like there's lots of possibilities. Whatever goes here has to move down, for sure. So it could be a domino. That would be fine, but it could also be an elbow just as easily. Oh, hold on. This is a space I can use. It's not an empty space, so I have to use that, which means we have to have elbows all around here. Meaning now, these are domino spaces. That goes there. Domino space. Yeah, the rest is simple. Nice. Good puzzle. Well done. How about back over this way? Dear me. F shapes. I think these because neighboring regions be different shapes, so these actually have to touch each other. In fact, yeah, those are all going to be touching. So now we can't touch here, whatever the other shape is. These has to be the same shape. This has to be part of the same. Hold on. No, hold on. No, I'm not thinking clearly. That's got to be because those are touching. Those are touching. Those are touching. So now this F shape is dictated for us. That's got to be there. This F shape is also dictated. This one is. And then here we need this shape, that shape. I think we can get the rest of this without too much trouble. Yeah. That finishes that window. So that's really quick if I just go blazing fast through windows rather than too deep in. That's going to take me into this area, which looks like... Yeah, this looks... Oh, so what we're doing, this area was called the market area. That's what the achievement told me last video, I believe. I completed this puzzle to get out. And this puzzle combines everything we've learned up to that point. So now this time I've learned 3 separate things. We've learned precision, polyominoes, which then get mixed with mingle shapes. So now what's going to happen here is we're going to do this new area, get to this puzzle, which is going to unlock something new. Because, yeah, that's how it's going to work. Okay. So I think what I'll do for the rest of this video is I'm going to push my way... That was the achievement, ready to mingle, restore the mingle shape window. It took a while. My guess is my internet went down for 5 seconds while I was doing it, so the game didn't know I did that. Anyway, moving on. Let's look at this area, try to get through this puzzle in this video. That's my goal. Starting to figure out how this game works now. So these things are going to mix and match everything. Yeah, precision and polyominoes. So obviously we got tetrominoes here, or pentominoes. Everything's going to have 5. Where should I start this wonderful guy? How about this F shape? This F shape cannot match with this I shape. Now, if the I shape moves to the right, the F shape can't happen. So the I shape needs to move down. That is guaranteed. The F shape's got to come out. It can move... It can't move here. Because if it does, the F shape would have to move into that spot. So the F shape has to move down like so. Now this shape, this bottom left corner, needs to be the L shape. But the L shape can't move up because it's going to touch the other polynomial. So it's got to move out like so. So then this space, which pentameter is it going to touch? If it touches this S shape, whatever you call this one, I forget the letter for whatever. If it touches this shape, then there's no way to make the P shape. Look, there's no way to make it. So this must touch the P shape, which is going to give us that. This sort of S-type shape now can't move 3 spaces over then up, because then it makes an orphan space, so it must be like so. And then with the C shapes here and the T shape, the C shape has to be like this, so that the T shape can go in here. That gives us a V shape. A W shape has to go into here because the cross can't reach into it. So the W shape goes like so. The cross is here. And then, I got it. So now we have our piece. Nice. So we got a, oh, hold on, there's another window here. All right, let's work our way up to there. All of them are tetrominoes. It looks like, yeah, this can't move down because then it's going to touch that or that. So it's going to move right and up. That's the only thing I can do, I believe. This I shape has to move over. That's all I can think of for that. I think we have to put an L shape here, right? Because whatever we do, whatever goes in here has to come out. It can't be the S shape that touches here because then we have orphan cells. So we have to move that in and then put our S shape there. Our T shape is going to touch that spot, I know for sure. This is going to be an S shape here. Here's why. If this is the T shape, S shape comes down. If this is the T shape, someone's got to be here. That's an S shape. This L has to move left and right, which is going to force it to be at least these cells. This has to be a T shape. That's all we can do. This here has to be an S shape, because it's either S or L. If it's an L shape, it leaves an orphan cell. So that's S, and then, yeah, this has to move that direction. It's going to now force these cells in here. This has to be T. So we've got an L shape here, but what's it doing? I got it. That's it. You just have to see that one. Got it. Finished off. 9 segments, huh? Well, this one is set. Nothing we can do about that. Oh, internet just went down again. Good thing I'm recording this and not streaming, that is for sure. All right, this segment here has to come out this way. It's not going to be a part of this guy. It's got to be blocked here. 6. How is this one? Is this one then going to just be like Pac-Man segment here? I think it is. 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's that. This fella has to come out here, and it won't be this one. I think what we're going to have is that, and then we should be able 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we should just be able to fill in these. There's going to be a lot of puzzles to come back to later, but that's all right. This is better than spending 5-6 hours at the beginning of the game. Let's move through. Precision, we got to have 2s. Well, we got to have dominoes that don't touch at all. I think that's going to dictate the puzzle pretty well to us. Yeah. It's going to force quite a bit of moves. Internet's back. There we go. Precision with rose windows again. We got 3s now. All right. This is an elbow piece. That's all we can do. That's guaranteed. This one could be anything. We definitely can't break these together. This one, this circle's got to be an elbow piece as well, moving to the left. That's all we can do. Huh. It's elbows or tetrominoes, really, is all we can think. The single line tetromino. The elbow technically is a tetromino as well. Everything has to have region 3 and have a symbol in it, of course. I can't have a region of 3 without a symbol. So over here, that's also got to be, that's the symbol there. This space has to touch a circle. Where is the nearest circle? It is, of course, there. This space has to touch a circle. That's the only one it can touch. This space has to touch a circle. This is the only one it can touch. That makes an elbow there. This space has to touch a circle. The only way it can do so is through a tetromino. Let's see. This space right here, what can it touch? It cannot reach any circle except for this one, and it can only do so by elbow. This space also must elbow in. This space, let's see. If I were to take this space as an elbow moving leftward, the puzzle would break, so it cannot be that. It also cannot be a tetromino moving straight down because it would break the puzzle. It must move this direction, and we finished it off. Precision with rose windows again. All right, we know that's a thing. They all have 4. Oh, so we did a 2, then we did a 3, now we do a 4. We have tetrominos, which gives us many more options on what we can do. A little harder to figure out a break-in for this one. We can think about the shape of this bottom corner. It can be an O shape, or it can be an L shape, or an I shape, or a T shape. There's way too many shapes. Or an S shape. It can be every single shape, and there's no guarantee which direction it goes. So never mind. That's a bad place to start. How about here? You can make an S shape there, L shape. But it could be any of those things. Over here, we can make L shapes going any direction. Or an I shape. Thought we had an L shape for sure. How about this one? This one has to touch this spot for sure. It could be an S shape. It can be an L shape. It can be an O shape. But it can't be a T or an I. Whatever it is, it's got to touch. These have to touch for sure. I don't know if that's enough of a start. Is there another spot that's got a similar sort of vibe? Oh, that means this piece can only move one space to the right. So it has to move up these 3 spaces. So this has to be an L shape. Now this piece can only move 1, 2. It has to move up as well. Like that. Now I don't know how far it's got to move. This one also has to move up at least 1 space. This one now needs to move into there. Okay, so having done so, it is going to force some moves here. This piece now must be an S. It must be like so. We must have this space. Now we either have an L shape or an S shape going here, but either way, it's going to also move up there, which now forces this to continue moving upward. We can't have both of these spaces occupied by this circle shape, so this one also moves upward. This shape now must touch this corner, which means this shape has to at least go that far. This shape can only touch one of these 2. Actually, hold on now. L shape, S shape, or O shape here. Either way, only one of these two, so it must move up there. Can I do any more inference on this? L shape. This is an L shape, right? This can't be an I shape, so it's an L. Oh, I'm still on notes mode. This is an L shape. It either curves here or there. Huh. L shape here, S shape, T shape. This could be an L shape. This can also be... I'm going to guess that we don't have an L shape here. And I'll tell you why I'm going to guess that. If I have an L shape here, then this or this is going to be an L shape, right? And if the solution involves this... Oh, sorry, it's more like... I guess I should explain it this way. This is not the L shape. The reason I think this is not the L shape is because we would force an L shape here and like so. But it would be the same exact solution as if I forced this L shape, right? Then we don't have one unique solution. We have two solutions because these L shapes can go back and forth. Therefore, this can't be an L shape here because if I make an L shape like this or make an L shape like, that's not an L shape, like this, either way, I end up with the same solution. This is therefore not an L. That's my guess. It must be an I shape. So I know that much. Can I clear notes with like, yeah, right. I don't need to see that anymore. So if this is the I shape, the question is, does it go down or up? I don't actually know that. Oh, hold on. I do know this L shape now. That's what it is. I should have just seen that earlier because it can't move leftward because now where does this circle go? There's something in the way of that. That can't go there. So that's the purple there. That's an S shape now. Get rid of it. Don't need to see that. Which means the I shape moves up. This L shape moves in. And now this has to be an O shape. There's no way around it. This circle's got to touch this spot and that spot for sure, right? We've got to touch those, but maybe not here. It could be an I shape or it could be a T shape. This has to come out. So we definitely have that going on. This comes out as well, and then it's going to have to move left. Okay, this is now forced. These are the only places we can go. We have a T shape. We have an O shape, we have an I shape, got it. All right, that was a good puzzle. I really like that. Continuing on our merry way, what's this? Almost getting our way up there. Okay, precision of 10 rows windows. Well, we're going to have 3 regions. So let's say red, yellow, blue. So how are we going to do it? Red's got to come up and around. 4. Can it reach this one? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It cannot reach this piece. Can it reach this one? Yes, but now we can't get out. So I think the red has to be this one here. 4, 5, 6, 7. Then who's going to be this corner? Because if we bring this in a way such as this, who's going to be up in this corner? It would have to be, I think, the red. I think red has to take that corner. So that gives us 6, 7. So at the most we have this. So who's going to get up here? Is the blue going to reach without overloading? No, that's an overload. So here's what red's going to do. Like that. Blue now can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, hold on. Red, I see. like that. And now yellow should be able to take the rest of these no problem. That's it. That's the answer. Are we getting somewhere? We're getting closer. Okay. Same symbol, different symbol. Well, this has to be a domino. I don't see any other symbol we can do because it's blocked up. Look at that. So that means this is a domino as well. This cannot be a domino. So it's either a... Well, the only shapes it can be, ignoring the rose windows here for a second. Well, ignoring the rose windows, there's actually too many shapes. What I mean is this is possible. The L is also possible, but then it blocks that shape in. So it actually really locks us into that. Locks us into this. Puts an elbow there. Same symbol as to go here, which is going to give us the tetromino at the top. Restore the forest entrance window. So having restored this window, now we have a chance to do the big boy puzzle right here. And I'm going to do the big boy puzzle. It'll turn me into a big boy. They're all pentominoes. Okay. Let's start with any obvious moves I can make here. Let's just be drawn borders between the same symbols, like this. It seems like a good start is this top right corner. What pentomino shape can we have if I put this here, right? We have to move, we can't move left or down because that's touching another of the same symbol. So we got to move right and then down. We can't move left now, so we have to keep moving down and then move here. That is a forced C shape pentomino. Now this shape, this circle, is going to move left, but it's not going to move up because that's another circle. So it's got a left, down, left, and then it can't move up. So this is going to be, I know it's not the S shape. I forget what they call that particular shape in pentomino speech. There's a letter for each one, and I forget what this particular shape is. But I'll show you the shape. This is the shape that we have to make. It's not S because S is this shape. That's the S shape. So these two are part of the same shape, right? The circle, the square, and we have to touch the triangle. So the only way to do that is the Y shape. So Y shape looks like this. So now this triangle and this square have to touch. And what circle are they going to touch? There's two options, this circle and that circle. The trouble is if they touch this circle here, if I make another Y shape, this circle now is trapped. It can't touch any other symbol without touching a second circle. Therefore, this square and triangle will touch that one with an F shape. Okay. What are we going to do now? It's not as obvious where we're going to go from here. Because, like, a move I could do, I'm going to just draw it to show you. I can make this I shape and I can make this Y shape pretty easily. I do not know if that is correct yet. So with that, instead of guessing this early and then running into trouble, let's continue with some more clear moves that I can do. Is there more clear moves I can do? Well, this circle can't take this triangle, because if the circle takes the triangle, then this circle has nowhere to go. So there's your border there. This circle must come up. And it can move to the right once. It can even take this triangle. No, this is not a triangle it can take. If we take this triangle, we now have in this region I've drawn 2 circles, 3 triangles, 3 squares. We can't take this triangle. So what triangle can we take? Again, we can't take this one. Now this circle has nowhere to go. So this circle is going to take this triangle. What triangle will we take here? We can't take this one. Blocks in. The only triangle that's left for us to take is this one. Because now we have 2 of every shape up here. So the question is whether this is a W shape or not. Whether it's this shape or whether it's the V shape. And the way we'll know that is we'll count these. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's possible to make pentominoes with. This makes 11, which we can't. So this is in fact a V shape. This is the only thing I can put here, but I'm not going to lock in my move yet. Now, we have to make the L shape here, because this square has to touch the triangle, and it can't touch that circle because it's going to block in these other things. Going to force a P shape there. So now, this circle will take this triangle and that square. So who's going to take this triangle? There's a couple options. Both of these circles have paths to it. Because this could be an F shape here. Like, we could draw an F shape. Or we could draw... No, hold on. No. That blocks in the circle. So this is the F shape. Let's just lock in those choices. So now the question is, do we... If this triangle here goes to this circle, that's all 5 cells in the pentomino without touching a square. So this triangle must belong to this circle here. So this circle is going to come down to there. Now, what is the final space it can take? It can't take this one because it blocks in the circle. So it must, move like so. That gives us the Y shape there. And the, I don't know, it's what this shape was called again. Who cares? It's not the S shape, but it's similar to it. This circle can reach only this triangle and only this square. Those are the only other ones it can reach, which is going to force an F shape. Let's see. This square is going to touch this circle, and the only triangle it can reach is here. That's done. Let's see. Any other obvious moves? This square can only touch this circle. The question is, which triangle will it touch? Let's say it doesn't touch this triangle here. Let's assume we do this. All right, where is the next move? Down here, we block the triangle in. Over here, we block everything in. Therefore, it is going to touch those spaces. Actually, it leaves me with only one shape. It leaves me with this Y shape. We have a couple triangles on option here. But let's assume we start making this shape here. Where does this triangle go? There's no way it can reach any square. Therefore, we have only one shape available to us for that pentomino. This circle can only touch one square ever, and it will be this one. So now we have to block that in, and we have another F shape right there. This W shape is the only shape we can make here. That's just blocked. We have a Y shape here as well, and then I believe we have... a C shape down here, and then we have another Y shape, and that should finish the puzzle. There we go. Town restored. Complete the final puzzle in the town area. And I did it. Made it. That's that. Cool. So now that we've done the town and the market areas, I've left a lot of puzzles still to be done. That's okay. I hope there's a way to quickly go from area to area. Now we have this town that we can do, which I will leave for another video. Shall I? All right, where was I? I was here. I completed puzzle 5. Cool. I'm done. Thanks everyone for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.